Hi, this is Jason Hodge with Medical Fitness Pros, and if you just got through reading the Absolute magazine, I mentioned I was going to share with you my favorite exercises for people with back pain, knee pain, and shoulder pain. First I'm going to share with you is for shoulder pain. One of the most common things that we see with shoulder pain is that people have a hard time creating stability of the shoulder joint. A lot of times we get really tight across the chest and the front part of the shoulder. And the part that's most often neglected is the rear deltoid, or the part back behind the shoulder. So the first exercise I'm going to show you is a rotator cuff strengthening exercise. It's going to work the posterior deltoid and just strengthen the integrity of the shoulder joint. You just start by grabbing a band or tube, attach it to something, and just rotate out to the outside. Very simple motion. You're just basically pulling across, keeping it parallel with the ground, keeping the elbow tucked in to the side of the body. You can place a towel underneath the elbow, which definitely helps keep the shoulder in alignment, and it strengthens the posterior deltoid. If you do feel anything on the if you feel the front part of the shoulder working instead of the back part of the shoulder, you're not doing it correctly. So make sure the shoulder's in place. Make sure everything's tucked back in position, and make sure that everything is lined up properly. You don't want the shoulder to slump forward, otherwise you won't get as much out of it. The second exercise I'm going to show you is an exercise to strengthen the back. And I know a lot of times you hear them use the word core and say, you know, make sure you make the core stronger. That's what really makes the back stronger. But unfortunately, that's not always true. What a lot of times we think of as the core is just abs. And working the abdominals are not the same thing as working the core. The core is basically the muscles that surround the entire body, from the back all the way to the front. And so when you're strengthening the true core, you want to make sure that you're doing things that are going to strengthen all the different muscles. And so the way you tell if you're actually working the core is it's basically your body's ability to maintain control of the spine. If you can control the spine through any range of motion, you are using the core to hold that position in place. Think of the core of an apple. However, if you can't control the spine position, you're no longer using your core. So for instance, the exercise I'm going to show you for the back is you're going to lay on your floor, on your back. You're going to flatten your back out with your knees bent, and you're going to simply just reach out leg or arm and maintain control of the spine. Now the key to this is that you do this without your back arching. So start with just reaching your leg out first. If you can control the spine and keep it in a neutral position, great, you're doing it properly. If you're arching, you don't want to do this. You want to stop and discontinue your exercise. To advance it, if just going out with one leg, it's pretty easy. Go out with the arm and the leg and try it that way. By doing it that way, you essentially are recruiting more of the core, and you're challenging your body to maintain control of the spine through a harder range of motion. If you are arching in the process, what you run into is possible inflammation of the area around the spine, and actually it can make the back pain worse. So make sure you're very careful about maintaining neutral spine position, keeping the back flat, and really strengthening the body, the core in that way. The last exercise is for knee. And a lot of times people have problems with their knees, especially after 40 years old. Runners, you develop something called runner's knee, patellofemoral pain syndrome, PFP. There's a lot of different names for things. And a simple exercise that you can do is just strengthening something called the medial portion of the quadriceps, to keep it simple. All you're going to do is just take a band, wrap it around the knee. If you need to, you can place a towel behind it. And you're going to just strengthen the knee by strengthening the quadricep by pulling back, squeezing the medial portion of the quadricep, and then relaxing back down. You can keep your heel down, you can lift your heel up, it doesn't really matter. The main thing is that you're moving through the range of motion, pain-free, just like all the other exercises, and you are actually strengthening the medial portion of the quadricep. All it does, it helps with the alignment of the patella, keeps the medial and lateral portion of the quadricep pretty even. A lot of times over time our medial portion gets a lot weaker than our lateral portion of the quadricep, therefore causing misalignment of the patella and pain and various things like that. Obviously these are not things that are going to be recommended in place of medical advice. You may have more serious conditions. These are just basic exercises for the general aches and pains I run across for back pain, shoulder pain, and knee pain. But there are hundreds of different injuries that could be occurring besides just the general aches and pains. So if you have any questions or have any problems, please consult your physician and find out what the actual cause of it is. If you have any questions, please let me know. This is Jason Hodge, and in response to the article written for Absolutely Magazine. I hope this helps. Feel free to leave some comments and let me know if there's anything that you have a question about or need clarification on. Thank you.